Hi guys, it's Amani. I'm back again with another video in this series of Med's 50 Heads Challenge. And in this challenge, I am focused on, by the end of it, having solidified a style for my comic. So with each head that I do, I'm focused on, playing around with the design, doing more expressive or exaggerated features, things like that. So I'm still a little stiff when it comes to that. I feel like I'm still too focused on creating an exact likeness of my muses, but I will say with this session in particular, I was able to get more familiar with using alcohol markers. Like I've said in the last video, it's just been a while since I've used them, so I feel like I'm still familiarizing myself with them. That being said, I do feel like I did push the envelope a little bit towards the end. I think I created what could be considered as a caricature. But the first two, I don't know. I guess, I do like all of them looking back on it. I feel like each of them I will take away something, but I just feel like with the drawing process in the beginning, I am nitpicking a little too much on certain details when I really should be focused on the shapes. And just exaggerating shapes in a better way, in a more cartoony way. But that's the thing, I'm like, I do enjoy slight realism in my work, but I do want some exaggeration. I do want to have a little more fun and actually design my characters rather than just draw them. But that's why this challenge is so good, because I'm like, there's different types of people and faces in this challenge, so it'll push me to draw people I normally wouldn't, and so that the characters I write, they might become more believable when I draw them based off of the experience I have in this challenge. And I also want to do my own challenges. I might break up the videos and do like full body character design challenges, and also environment challenges, and interactions and animals as well, just so I can get more of a well-rounded exploration of this. So here I'm starting off with a base tone that I like to do, it makes it easier to blend the alcohol markers together, and it's just a good jumping off point, and it also establishes the tone. So I'm giving like an overall warm tone with this tan color. And then I'm going in with green. I don't know, I just felt she had a very olive tone, and so any little bit of green could help express that, And it was also a lighter color that I could use, because you don't want to go too dark with markers, because you can't take away. You could lighten a color a little bit, but it's really hard to get rid of it. So I like to start with a lighter color and go darker for the most part. So I'm just kind of establishing the shadows with the green. Even though this isn't the darkest tone I'll be using, it just helps to layer a couple of mid-tones to end up getting a darker tone. Also, alcohol markers are really expensive, so I do have a few alcohol markers that I got from Blick, and I got their Blick Studio brand because it was the cheapest option. And I think they had a sale going on for like 5 or 6 for $24, and I was able to get some really nice colors, but I did not get all the colors I needed, so I immediately went to Ross, because Ross usually has a pretty decent selection of cheap art supplies, and they have the King Art alcohol markers, and I got a 15 pack for like $8 or $9. So as someone who doesn't know what color palette she wants to use overall, it was just smarter for me to get a cheaper marker that won't last as long, but will allow me to see which colors I'm actually using. Like I'll see which ones I run out of first, and those will be the ones that I replace with a better brand. In the past, I used Prismacolor and Copic alcohol markers, and I love them both. I don't know. They're kind of all created equally to me. It's just some of them dry out faster. Like the cheaper ones just dry out faster, and the color matching on the outside is usually incorrect. Usually can't count on the cap to look like the inside. So that's the only thing. You just test them out before you use them. So yeah, I'm really liking how things are blending. Sometimes I have to give them a second to dry because it'll dry a lighter or just completely different color. I'm going in with my first dark tone, which is this blue, and I really like this color palette so far. And I'm just reinforcing the shadows. And she's starting to come to life at this point. And it does look like an animated version of the reference, but I don't know, I just feel like I could have done so much more to exaggerate her features. I feel like, yeah, I made the eyebrows bushier, I made her hair more like whimsical and like curly, and I've kind of, blocked out and simplified her features, like her nose and her lips, but and made her eyes bigger, which I'm gonna do anyway with my background in watching so much anime. It's like inevitable to make some eyes bigger. But I really liked when I did this with the blue, like the pale blue. I went over the eyes a bit to create some shadow on the whites of her eyes and some shadow underneath her eyes. And when you study the face, you can kind of see that, like the shadows like underneath the eyes, underneath the nose, underneath the lips. Like there's gonna be, you know, just cooler shadows underneath those places, and then where the light hits are gonna be the warmer tones. And so sometimes I can see it right away, and then sometimes I have to just go by that logic if the lighting doesn't reveal that in the picture. And then I was like, oh yeah, let me use color pencil, because I do want to use color pencil more so to do line work sparingly rather than do line work with marker or ink. And I kind of forgot about that when I was doing the headscarf. And so I don't like that blue outline I did. I think it's too bold. But overall, doing these little finishing touches, I'm pretty pleased with it. I like the colors that I chose. And yeah, it's cute. So this next one, I've actually drawn this character before, or character. I've actually drawn this person before. A long time ago. I actually made a sticker out of it in a sticker sheet, but with her features are just so well defined. Like I think it's because of her makeup, but like each part of her face is just very bold. But I don't know, I still feel like I could have really exaggerated more. I mean, I did exaggerate quite a bit with the proportions. I pretty much made everything bigger on her face. And you know, kind of made some design choices when shaping her eyes, especially. But I think it's too defined. I don't know, there was something about the last session that I ended on where it was very loose. I got it done quickly, and that was that. And I feel like with this I'm a little too like I'm nitpicking too much over every little detail. And though I do want very specific character designs, I feel like this is just too defined. I don't know, I just want to be looser. Maybe I could have lightened the pencil and then I don't know, you'll see. Maybe I could get some of you guys' opinion on this. Or maybe I just need to do more of these. Like, by the time I get done with the 50 heads, like, maybe I'll just have a better grasp on what it is I'm going for. And, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, just going in with the tone, the base tone, and then trying to figure out what my local colors are that I want to use, like the purple of her, or the lavender rather, of her head wrap, and then, you know, the pink that's throughout the whole thing. This like really made me nervous. I wish instead of like blocking off like that, I had just done one swoop across her jawline, because now I'm like backtracking with the beige color and trying to blend it in, and you know, I can't really tell if it's worked, the blending has worked, until the colors have dried. And there's some streaking from the pencil because I didn't erase enough of it. It's throwing me off a little bit, but it's cool. Things are coming together. I'm liking the color palette. I feel like I'm really stretching myself with the color palette this time, which is cool. I can appreciate it. I don't think it's the direction that I'm trying to go. I don't know. It depends on the scene though, right? Like how the colors will look within the comic. And some more blending. And I think maybe I'm realizing that I'm not paying attention to when exactly I want to stop using marker and start using the color pencil. Yeah, definitely need it more pink to draw everything together. This is gray that I'm going in with to darken this grayish green color that I put on the shadows. This is like a terracotta color, I think. And then I'm going back over it with the pink. I think the order that I put these in is not what I wanted, but I think overall it works. I'll allow it. And then actually from this one I kind of realized that I need to assign these characters, or I need to assign these references a character. Like for this one, with the makeup she has on, I'm not saying that she actually looks like this, but I could have given her like a villainous, you know, antagonist persona to really be able to push the character design that I'm trying to do. And I think that's why a lot of these, or not a lot of these, I think that's why the ones today just didn't turn out like I pushed the envelope. It's because I didn't give them a story. That's like the recurring theme of everything that's wrong with my art and the direction I'm trying to take. Whenever things don't turn out right, it's because I didn't apply a story. I didn't have a story for my drawing. So that's, I need to write that down. I need to write it down again and let myself know that it applies to everything. But yeah, so next time I'm gonna give the reference a story. But yeah, I really like how the colors are looking right now. And then I, you know, add gray, kind of deepen it. It's not deep enough. This is like a mid-tone on mid-tone. It's a little darker than the purple, but not enough. But it's enough to stop, and I go ahead and leave the rest to my colored pencils. you know, define some of the features by outlining. I really like the colors, so I'm not filling in as much with the colored pencils. I'm just trying to block in the shapes with the colored pencils. I do color in the eyes a bit to exaggerate the shadow of the eyes. It's another thing that makes her look like she could have been the perfect villain. Ugh. Now I want to redraw this. But yeah, not being able to see light in her eyes very much also makes her look a little more like a villain. But yeah, going in with this beautiful color. This is one of my favorite colors to use and look at. It's this indigo blue type color. As you can see, I'm using it an extender so that I can actually use it, because it is a nub at this point. And then another favorite color is like these deep purples. Like, I love using deep purples and blues. They're really pretty. And red, of course. That's probably like my 3 most used color pencils. Okay, and with that blend, I am done with that one. And then here comes my favorite. I have also drawn this guy before too. He's a very popular model. It's so hard to find good references of black people on Pinterest sometimes. Like, I'll be searching for days, weeks, months and find like 3 pictures that I actually want to use, that, you know, have a certain look to them or quality. It's really frustrating, but I'm hoping that with time, I'm like, is it just me? Is it the algorithm? I don't know. But I'm hoping with time I'll collect more references. But yeah, again, I feel like I am like going back and forth and nitpicking still with the design, but I do feel as though I'm making more conscious design choices. But it's definitely based off of me simplifying what I see. Simplifying and exaggerating what I see. And I think I did a good job of doing that for this particular one. In fact, in the end, I feel like he looks like straight out of the late 80s, early 90s, like I'm drawing caricatures for the Fresh Prince or something. But yeah, I really like how this one turned out. Yeah, that actually looks like a character drawing. Anyway, going in with blue. See, I'm even going in with a more interesting color. But I don't know, it was easier for me to see different colors in his face than the other ones. So yeah, just going over the whole thing. And this light grayish blue. Yeah, I really want more light toned colors like that. And then for the shadows and just like a darker color, I'm going in with this lavender purple. And I'm just trying to block in everything that looks like it's kind of in the shadow, or like collecting some kind of darker tone. It's kind of it's kind of nerve-wracking, like but I think once I got to this point with the finishing the hair and the eyes, I was like, okay, it's a little established. And I'm trying to just use the chisel side because with these King Art markers, the other side is just like a small like bullet tip, so it'll create too many streaky strokes. It's not like a brush like the Blick ones or like a Copic. I wonder if Prismacolor has the brush too now, because like last time when I had it, I don't think they did have the brush. I think it was just the fine tip and the chisel. But I like the chisel anyway, because as you know, like I like that pixelated like flat brush kind of look, and it's easier to like simplify the character design and the colors when you do that, when you use that side. But yeah, now I'm going in with this beautiful yellow. It's like a marigold almost, and when it's layered with other colors, it just adds even more richness. So yeah, definitely gonna be buying this color in a better set of markers. But at this point, I think you can see what I'm going for at this point. I'm just using the layers and like trying to simplify the colors that I'm seeing on his face too, and like trying to figure out how to layer it to kind of look like what his face is doing, what the light is doing when it's bouncing off his face. So, you know, not every stroke is perfect. I would go back and do some things differently, but for the most part, I like what's happening. And here I'm going over with a terracotta color over the purple parts that I put on his skin, because I'm realizing it just needs a better transition, or that's like the color I was really going for. That happens too, like I'll mix two colors thinking that optically I'll get the color I'm looking for, but it's just not quite. But it offers me another opportunity to add another color later. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know. I'll be able to better explain it at some point, but basically when you use two lighter colors to optically mix shadows and tones on your it just turns out better. It gives you like a buffer in figuring out the color blocking and placement that you want. I'm exaggerating the light bouncing off the shadows, like from underneath on his jawline. It's like the lightest blue, but I'm making it a bit richer. I'm making everything richer on his... I kind of am making... Maybe that's what I saw, is like a Fresh Prince kind of character. And I'm making him more vibrant and like kind of cool looking, like that 80s 90s cool. Maybe it's the earrings. It's probably the gold earrings that really set it off, and me exaggerating the high top a little bit. Yeah, it is coming together. The terracotta color is really coming in clutch. And then the blue is just a really nice accent. I really love this blue color. I'll probably get this one too. Again with the terracotta on the lips. Okay, so I lost the footage, but I filmed it twice. One to format for Reels on Instagram, and then one to use for YouTube. But I think I like this footage more. So I lost the footage that I took, and I'm just gonna speed it up. But yeah, I lost the footage that I took for this one for YouTube, and so I was like, well, let me use the one that I'm choosing for the reel, and it just captured the colors so much better. It's so vibrant, it's so pretty, and kind of closer to what I see. But yeah, I typically try to avoid using black, but I decided to use black for the shadows and darkening, and I feel like it was the perfect choice to make. Like, sometimes using black can flatten an image and make it look less alive, but in this case, as soon as I added black to his eyes, he started to come to life, and then I was like, this is perfect, because I'm gonna use it for the hair too. And it added the texture of his hair really nicely. Again, more blue for shadow in the eyes, and just kind of nitpicking back and forth at this point, just trying to stylistically add some lines and create interesting shapes on his face with interesting colors. And this magenta, I think it's mulberry maybe color, this light mulberry color just adds harmony, and then of course some red. But yeah, this mulberry color is definitely one of my favorites. But yeah, he really came together. Like, I love this one. And that's it. That's all of them. I can't wait to do more. I think they all turned out really good, even though they aren't exactly what I'm going for per se. They do, like, I can tell I'm getting closer. I'm getting closer to my goal with each one. And I think just doing these and then realizing another thing, like, oh, I need to assign each person a character in order to, exaggerate the features a bit more, because I'll have a story to go off of. Just realizing that, coming to that realization during this session is so worth it. So if you're like me and not everything goes the way you plan it, just keep drawing, because with each time you draw, you discover something new about your process, and it's all about your art process. And you can't have an art process unless you draw, frequently on a regular basis, because how can you realize what your process is and what you like to do? So I will leave myself and you guys with that thought as we move on to the next one. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got a lot out of this. I hope you enjoyed following along, possibly. I don't know if anybody else has already done this or is doing this now, but thank you so much for watching. Please comment, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.